Hi Roze, welcome back to my channel. So I turned 20 this week, which is crazy to me because in my head I still think I'm 17, but since I have now been on this earth for 20 years, I feel like I have learned quite a bit in my time here. So I've kind of decided to make a video and share some of them with you guys. I'd love to make the comments like a huge thread of helpful advice. I really encourage you guys to do it. You never know who may stumble upon this video and may really need to hear what you have to say. So yeah, let's get started into some of the things I've learned in my 20 years. First, let's start off with if you don't want to do something, don't let other people make you feel guilty for not wanting to do it. For example, if you don't like to go out to parties, don't feel bad about not going out to parties if that's what your friends like to do. If they like it and enjoy it, good for them, and it's really nice that they invited you, but it's okay to say no sometimes. If it's just not your scene, don't feel bad about it. Everyone is different and likes their own things, so you do you and they will do them. The second thing I've learned is to follow your life path, even if it's not the path that others around you have planned for you. This may seem like a pretty simple idea, but it's actually super hard in real life. Whether that's choosing a non-conventional college major that you're really passionate about or taking a year off from college, do what you think is going to make you happy. You shouldn't let other people tell you what you can and can't do based off of this idea of normal, because spoiler alert, normal doesn't exist. Also, just because you're not doing what those around you are doing doesn't make it wrong or abnormal, because at the end of the day, you're the one living with your decisions and they should make you happy. On to the third thing I've learned is to take every opportunity you can get. I feel like opportunities are so rare nowadays that if you find one and you feel passionate about it, you should 100% go for it. Even spur of the moment opportunities sometimes can be the most life-changing and fun experiences. Of course, you need to be careful about this, weigh your options, decide if it's safe, and then go from there. But I truly believe you should take opportunities if they're presented to you. The fourth thing I kind of had to learn the hard way. If you hate something and you have the option to quit, just quit. There are two things in this life that we seem to never get enough of, and that is time and energy. And if you're spending your time and energy on things you don't like, you're not going to feel fulfilled in your life. Your mental health is way more important than any club, sport, or job. I've always been super stubborn when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm really not a quitter. I'm going to tangent a little bit of a story, so if you don't want to hear it, skip ahead to this time so you don't have to hear it. But anyway, I used to run for my high school's cross-country team. Now, let me preface this story. I have asthma, and at that time I was not diagnosed with asthma. So I had asthma and I was still trying to run miles a day, and halfway through the season I got a case of pneumonia. But I stayed on the team regardless, and I really wanted to run the last race of the season. So I didn't take the prescribed inhaler beforehand, and I was running on pneumonia, and it was super cold outside that day and I just wasn't getting enough oxygen. So I ended up kind of half passing out in the middle of the field like 5 minutes into the race, and I had to have somebody walk me to the finish line because I could not do it myself. So yeah, that's when I kind of realized I should have just quit sooner and saved myself some embarrassment. And I guess I've realized more in recent years that I don't have to be doing all that. I feel like I'm a pretty tough person and I don't quit easily, but I feel like I don't really have to hit that wall in order to quit something. I'm allowed to quit while I'm ahead. You should always come first, and if you really, really hate doing something and you have the option to quit, I would say just quit. The fifth thing that I learned is it's okay to be introverted. I think I'm the most introverted person I know, and I really, really enjoy being alone in my own space, doing my own thing. I honestly find it exhausting to be social for long periods of time, and I'm kind of anxious around people I don't know in general, so at the end of the workday working 2 jobs in customer service, I'm drained. And that used to be something I really pushed past because no one around me was like that. They were all fine with it. All my friends and everybody I tend to surround myself with are usually extroverted and usually find my introversion kind of hard to understand. But sometimes I just need to spend a day all to myself and do nothing so I can recharge again. I've kind of realized that no matter what anybody says, you need to make yourself happy first and take care of yourself. When you give yourself time alone to recharge, you're able to spend more of that energy on people you care about. And if you need to spend a whole day just by yourself doing nothing, that's okay too. Which leads me to my next point, number 6. It's okay to do literally nothing sometimes. I feel like this is especially important for the way American school systems are run currently. It teaches kids to put value into the things they're doing and the things they're working on rather than getting value from themselves as a person. And I feel like that's just not a good way to live. In school, they teach you to put your grades above your mental and physical health, and this is just so toxic because kids aren't being told that taking breaks is normal and okay sometimes. You do need busy days where you get things done and feel really accomplished, but on the contrast, you also need days where you can just sit at home alone and watch movies. Being on the go 24/7 is exhausting, and you need to take time for yourself to chill out and relax without feeling guilty. And taking time to let your mind and body rest is a form of self-care too. do. Which leaves me to my 7th thing that I've learned is self-care is not selfish. And other people telling you that taking care of yourself first is selfish in itself. Now, I will admit there is a line between self-care and self-indulgence, and there is a lot of good YouTube videos on it. I will leave those in the description box for you guys to watch if you're interested. But self-care to me is one of the most important things I have. When I don't have time to do full-on self-care days, there are plenty of things that don't take really much time, money, or effort. Even things such as washing your face, drinking enough water, making sure you're eating enough. These can all be forms of self-care as long as the intention is there and you're doing it for yourself. I also have a video on little ways to take care of yourself, so I will leave that up here and in the description box below. The 8th thing that I've learned is material objects really aren't that important. We currently live in a society that really puts people's value into the things that they own, but there are so many people across the world that don't have much and are so happy, and on the contrast, there are people that have so much and are not happy. I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't realize how much your value rests in you as a person. Your personality, your attitude, your morals, your dreams are what give you value as a human, and material possessions kind of seem to me like non-essential accessories in your life. The real substance of life is yourself, your heart, your mind, and your energy. Sometimes you need to take a step back and really think about the things around you. Everything you own should bring you joy or serve a purpose in your life. The 9th thing that I've learned is you should really be more cautious about your environmental impact. Now, I'm still learning ways, and I think I will forever be learning ways about how to do this better, but I feel it's important for everybody to try their best. I know it kind of may be hard to conceptualize that one person can really help the environment and reduce their carbon footprint, but if you really think about the things you buy and don't give into this consumerism lifestyle, that in itself will also help inspire other people to do the same, and it'll be a ripple effect. If you truly believe in it, live by example and educate those around you. We all can and should put the thought, love, and respect into this earth and the life that it holds. Also, on the topic of being a more thoughtful human, I've learned that meat and dairy is actually terrible for your body and the environment. I have been vegetarian for 5 years and a vegan for over 8 months now, and I love it so much. The amount of things they put into meat and dairy is disgusting, and the impact it has on the environment is truly so sad, and it can all be avoided just by eating more sustainably. Also, I love animals, and I'm sickened by the way they're treated in these places. I would love to make a whole video on this too, so if you guys are interested in that, give this video a like and leave a comment down below, and I will be sure to do that. The 11th thing that I've learned is just because you're different doesn't mean you're any less than. I spent a lot of my life not fitting in any place or having a place where I feel like I can truly be myself. That was until I got really invested in choir my senior year and kind of transferred that also into college. This can also be your life plan as well. Maybe the things you're doing and accomplishing in your life aren't the same as others around you, but although it's different from others, it doesn't make it wrong in any way. If you are really passionate about the things you're doing in your life, you will find people that are willing to love and accept you for those things and allow you that space to be your true, authentic self. The 12th thing that I've learned is there are going to be setbacks in life, and that's okay. Life really isn't meant to be easy. Part of living is dealing with the setbacks and struggles of being human. Whether your challenges are mental, physical, or environmental, try to use those as opportunities to grow yourself as a person. Try your best to look at things from an outsider perspective as well, and try to find things that you've learned throughout the process. I will leave some links down below if you're struggling with anything and need help. There are always going to be people that want to help you and see you succeed. There's always hope. The 13th thing that I've learned is that you should always stand up for yourself and what you believe in. Every single person on this planet is important and valid, and if somebody's making you feel less than that, you should stand up for yourself. If people around you are not being kind to you or respecting your opinions, try to have a conversation with them about it. Let them know how it makes you feel, and if they're still not willing to change their way, it's okay to let those friendships go. People are always going to come in and out of your life, and although that person was there in your life for a reason to teach you something, if the friendship is toxic, you don't need to keep them in your life. You see all these toxic friend checks on TikTok where their friends are just downright bullying them, and that's not okay. Everyone deserves friends and people around them that are going to bring them up, support them, and respect them. And also in the same vein as that is my 14th thing that I've learned is don't let other people silence you or tell you your opinions are not valid. Some people in this world are just not as loving as others. People will try and tell you you're too this or too that to be knowledgeable on a topic you're passionate about. And instead of coming at them with a defensive attitude or or with anger, you can try to give them resources on ways to educate themselves and learn about your beliefs. Standing up for yourself doesn't always have to be confrontation. It should be education. Change takes time as well. Try to be understanding of those around you in their learning process and give them encouragement as they go. The 15th thing that I've learned is that you should always be kind to others. I've been put in a lot of situations, especially working in customer service, where people are downright mean to you. And sadly, this kind of changed my worldview a little bit. I think the world would be a completely different place if we were just generally nicer to each other. And it really does start with just one person. You can do little acts of kindness or try and make other people happy, because you never know what somebody's going through. So just try your best to be kind to others. The next thing that I learned is something that kind of had to learn the hard way. But number 16 is that people just suck sometimes. And they're going to be sucky towards you, but you should always still be kind to them. Because again, working in customer service, you never know what somebody's going through. For some reason, people are just really terrible to customer service workers, which I just don't understand. But I've really had to realize that that's part of the job. It does suck when people are mean to you for seemingly no reason, but I feel like there's always a reason behind those actions. You just may not know what they are. Just assume they're having a bad day and be nice to them anyway. During the beginning of this whole pandemic, people were really nervous all the time and would take it out on us. And I was also having a hard time dealing with that because I was also taking it out on myself. I thought other people being rude to me was because of something or I deserved it. But I realized that some people are just not gonna like you, but that's okay because there are plenty of people that do like you. Also, a lot of people project without realizing it, so maybe it has nothing to do with you. And you shouldn't put your self-worth into the hands of somebody that really knows nothing about you, because you're more than what other people think of you. The 17th thing that I've learned is to try your best not to compare yourself to others. I know this has been said so much, but it's truly so important for you to understand. This applied to me academically more than anything. My sister is super smart and had a pretty easy time in school, and so did a lot of my friends growing up. They all had straight A's seemingly without trying, and I was having such a hard time even getting good grades. I kind of just thought it was because I was dumb or lazy or wasn't trying hard enough, and even some of my teachers thought that too. But it wasn't until my junior year of high school, when I was finally able to get tested, that I realized I had a learning disability. This learning disability makes it hard for me to read, write, and absorb material, which is basically what school is. So although I was doing okay in school, I was having to work 5 times harder to get those grades than everybody around me. And I was trying to compare myself to normal kids when I wasn't a normal kid. And since getting that diagnosis, it makes me feel really good when I got good grades because I know how much work went into it. And it was more rewarding seeing that hard work pay off. My 18th thing that I've learned is that everybody deserves to be happy and have kind words spoken to them. There are so many hateful words and labels that are used to oppress, put down, and control groups of people. But as much hate as there is in this world, I also feel like there is just as much love, support, and acceptance. There is always a loving space and kinder words for you no matter who you are. And truly, your physical looks are not telling of you as a person at all. What's most beautiful is what's in your mind and your heart. And everyone in this world, I believe, deserves to be happy no matter what they look like, dress like, speak like, or how they choose to present themselves in this world. The 19th thing that I've learned is that if you're really passionate about something, really take your time to focus on it. Whether you're starting a business or like painting or singing, really take time to work on your skill and use what you learn in that area to grow your life and others. It's like singing in a choir. You're working on your own individual part while also trying to figure out how to blend with those around you, figuring out your place in the section, and doing it to the best of your ability. It's the same thing with life. You work as a team to move forward and accomplish things. As long as you put your love for this thing out into the world and really try your hardest, I believe it can bring you happiness. Also, you don't have to be good at something to do it. I'm really a progress-oriented person since I grew up doing figure skating, and perfection is this thing that I had a big issue with in my head. I felt like if I'm not good at something the first time I do it, there's no point in doing it, which is honestly dumb. I gave up so many good opportunities because of that mindset. You really need to put time and effort into the things you love, and you'll start to see them improve and take shape over time. You can't just try something for the first time and be good at it. It just doesn't work that way. And I've really had to stop caring so much about perfection, and I really just have to focus on the things that I love, whether I'm good at them or not. So instead, I've tried to ingrain in my head that practice makes progress. And finally, the 20th thing that I've learned is that you should never hate anything about yourself. You are who you are. And although I do feel like people can change over time, you shouldn't spend your life hating or hiding things about yourself that you can't control. Learning to love and accept yourself fully is one of the hardest things to do in life, but it is the most rewarding and important. You should always be able to love and accept yourself no matter what. This is something I'm still teaching myself and working on, but I think life is too short to spend energy hating something about yourself. It may be difficult at first, but eventually you can be able to turn your insecurities into things you love about yourself. And yeah, that's it. I will leave you guys with that. I hope you like this and are able to take something away from it. And I guess if I have any closing statements to wrap all of this up, I would say that you're amazing, you're loved, and you can do anything in this world as long as you try your hardest, take care of yourself, and care for others. Again, if there's anything that you've learned in your life that you feel like could help other people, leave those down in the comments below. You never know who could need to hear it. As an early birthday present to me, you can give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also turn on my bell notifications so you know when I post. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.